A very beautiful evening to you and welcome to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent and I'm your host for today. It's about 5 minutes past 7 p.m. and I do welcome you to the number one station that gives you a voice all over the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been quite an interesting day for many Nigerians, for the Nigerian judiciary, for Nigerians who have been following the case of the incarcerated leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, that is Nnamdi Kanu. Today is November 20, the day that the court scheduled for judgment on the 7-count terrorism charge that was brought against him by the federal government. And a lot has actually happened today. But before we look into what has transpired from everything that transpired in court today, let's actually look at the timeline of the case against him. Let's look at how it started until it culminated in the life imprisonment that was given today after his conviction on 7 counts of terrorism. Now, the case of Nnamdi Kanu, of course, did not start today. It did not start yesterday. It did not start last year or even the year before, right? Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja today convicted the IPOB leader of terrorism against the federal government and against Nigerians. He was sentenced to life imprisonment on count 1, count 4, count 5, and count 6. Now, the court says they're giving him this life imprisonment instead of a death sentence. The IPOB leader was also sentenced to 20 years in prison and 5 years imprisonment on count 7 with no option of fine. And the judge said the sentences shall run concurrently. Now, while delivering the judgment, the judge said the prosecution actually proved its case against Nnamdi Kanu beyond reasonable doubt. Now, this judgment is coming after several years of a legal battle. Let's actually give a breakdown of the timeline of some major happenings during this trial since Nnamdi Kanu's arrest in October 2015. That's about 10 years ago. Yes, you calculated that correctly. Now, in October 2015, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in Lagos by the Department of State Services on charges of terrorism and treasonable felony. In November of the same year, 2015, he was arraigned before an Abuja magistrate court on charges of criminal conspiracy, intimidation, and membership of an unlawful society. His case was later transferred to the Federal High Court for treasonable felony. 2 years later, in 2017, that was in April 2017, he was granted bail by the Federal High Court in Abuja on health grounds with a 100 million naira bond and strict conditions, which include refraining from interviews and public gatherings. He was not to grant interviews to the press or to the media. He was not to attend any public gatherings, any meetings, none whatsoever. Now, a few days later, still in April of 2017, he fulfilled the bail conditions and he was released from Kuje prison. In August of 2017, the federal government filed a motion to revoke his bail, saying he cited some alleged violations by him. Now, in September of 2017, a military operation at his home in Umuahia, Abia State, led to his disappearance. Now, some lawyers claim that he fled for safety, but the government accused him of jumping bail. His bail was revoked and a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. Fast forward to 5 years later, in 2022, February of 2022, the Kenyan government filed an affidavit confirming Nnamdi Kanu entered Kenya on May 12, 2021 as a British citizen with no official record of departure. Now, this actually bolstered claims of his unlawful what a number of legal luminaries have called his unlawful rendition to Nigeria or extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. Now, in 2023, December 15 precisely, the Supreme Court overturned a Court of Appeal judgment that had acquitted him and struck out terrorism-related charges. It reinstated the terrorism-related charges and ordered that the trial continue. That was in 2023. Now, from 2023, we jump straight to 2025. In February this year, the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered that Nnamdi Kanu should be brought to court for a resumed trial on February 10, confirming his continued DSS custody since June 2021 when he was arrested and repatriated from Kenya. Now, in March This same year, the trial resumed before Justice James Omotosho. Nnamdi Kanu was rearraigned on 7 terrorism-related counts, and he pleaded not guilty to all of these charges. In June 2025, this year, the Kenya High Court ruled that his arrest in 2021 and the transfer to Nigeria were unlawful, and they awarded him damages. Now, we're not going into in-depth details. This is just kind of like, would you say, a shallow timeline of everything that has happened on the case of Nnamdi Kanu, just to remind you of some issues that have cropped up ever since his trial. Now, in September, which was just 2 months ago, the Federal High Court advanced hearing on Nnamdi Kanu's application for release or improved medical access, pushing this to September 26 in response to concerns about his health. Now, on that September 26, the court ordered that the Nigerian Medical Association should constitute a medical panel to assess Nnamdi Kanu's health and to see how fit he was for trial. Now, on October 26, which was less than a month ago, the NMA gave a report certifying him medically fit to stand trial, and they denied his request to be transferred to the hospital for medical checkup. Now, the proceedings were then adjourned to October 23 for the defense to open, with trial sessions fixed for October 23, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Now, on November 4, which was about a week ago, Justice Omotosho gave Nnamdi Kanu until November 5 to defend the terrorism charges against him or to waive his right. On November 7, which was about 4 days ago, the court fixed judgment for November 20 in Kanu's terrorism trial. Okay, I was wrong. On November 7 was about 13 days ago. November 12, Nnamdi Kanu asked the Court of Appeal in Abuja to stay further proceedings in his trial before Justice James Omotosho. And then this brings us to today, November 20. The Federal High Court in Abuja convicted Nnamdi Kanu on all 7 counts brought against him and sentenced him to life imprisonment for terrorism. Now, as I told you, this is a case that has been going on for a while now. But I want us to take a listen, actually, to the counsel of the federal government chief, Justice Awomolo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, who was actually advocating for the death sentence for him on these charges of terrorism. He says the only sentence that he will enforce will be the death sentence. And also, at some point, the federal government also said that is what it should be, the death sentence. So I want us to take a listen, actually, to this. This was what occurred in court today when counsel for the federal government or the prosecutor, Chief Awomolo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, was talking about giving the death sentence. Although later it was life imprisonment, he wasn't given the death sentence. But let's take a listen to this, and then the evening rush continues.
With all sense of humility, I say, sir, as a prosecutor, that this court has no discretion in that regard, and that the only sentence that your lordship will impose for counts 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 is death sentence. This court has the power to do so, and with respect must do so. The language of the act is clear, and the court is urged to apply it strictly without deviation. For the
Nigeria is becoming
Oh, all right. You can actually hear the prosecutor talking about how the court has the power to enforce the death sentence on Nnamdi Kanu on the 7-count charge of terrorism. Let's now actually take a listen to when the life imprisonment was actually read out, when it was decided that it would be a life imprisonment for counts 1, 4, 5, and 6 instead of the death sentence. Let's take a listen.
Although I'm not really persuaded, but I must temper justice with mercy. The court is moved by chapter 23, verse 23 of Matthew, in the book of Matthew, to the fact that, who unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and has omitted the weightier matter of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. This you ought to have done, particularly, and must notice the words in Matthew 23 and verse 23. The the word mercy. Our Lord himself is merciful. No matter what we do, is a merciful God. It is on that note that because we follow this above admonition of Jesus Christ in the above passage and show mercy to the convicts. In addition, the death penalty globally is now being frowned upon by the international community. Consequently, and in the interest of justice, I hereby sentence the convicts to life imprisonment for the said counts 1, 4, 5, and 6 instead of death sentence. Life is sacred to God. With respect to count 3, he is hereby sentenced to 20 years imprisonment without no option of fine. For count 7, he is sentenced to 5 years imprisonment without no option of fine. To extend the mercy, I hereby order that the sentence shall run concurrently. And due to the nature of the offences that borders on terrorism and the attitude, violent nature of the defendants that I have taken judicial notice. The last adjourned date, he was so unruly and expressed violence, even was about to beat the security officers there. This morning, he repeated same.
That was Justice James Omotosho reading out the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja today, which found Nnamdi Kanu guilty of 7 counts of terrorism and have sentenced him to life imprisonment. Now, let's actually take a listen to Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel and lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, who was in court today as a consultant, speaking on how they will be heading to the Court of Appeal to challenge these life sentences. Let's take a listen to him as well.
To pursue a separate nation of yours is not a crime. So in Nigeria today, if somebody says don't be silly, you get convicted. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu may broadcast, and so what? And you convict him for terrorism for mere words in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What kind of precedent is being laid? So from here, we are heading to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal is the only court in this country, or the next court in this country, that sits as a jury. We are going to approach the justices there to check out what happened in court today. And we are pretty sure the justices will agree with us that today was the symbol of the travesty of justice that everybody has been suspecting all along. If the Court of Appeal disagrees with us, we head to the Supreme Court. But by God Almighty, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is not going to stand convicted. He's going to get overturned. Thank you.
All right, that was Aloy Ejimako saying that the conviction will not stand, as they intend to head to the Court of Appeal to try to find what they've called justice for Nnamdi Kanu. Now let's take a listen to the counsel to the federal government, Justice Adegboyega Awomolo, who has hailed the sentencing of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, that's Nnamdi Kanu. He says the law is bigger than every one of us and the law will take its course to deal with miscreants, terrorists and criminals. Now, let's actually take a listen to him speaking after the court session today.
Be courageous enough to confront terrorism, criminality, and all sort of things. I know that, political insinuations or perspective will be put into this matter. I was in court in there when somebody was saying, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. We are all Nigerians. We must love one another. We must not compromise the security of the country on the basis of those primordial sentiments. So I congratulate Nigeria today for seeing the end of this, and let it be a warning to those who may think they are bigger than Nigeria. One of us. The law is bigger than every one of us, and the law will take its course to deal with miscreants, to deal with terrorists, to deal with criminals. You know, all of us are victims when we keep quiet. All of us are victims when we don't do what we ought to do. Therefore, be a Nigerian. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, that was a prosecutor and counsel to the federal government. Adigbega Awomolo, senior advocate of Nigeria, actually hailing the sentencing of Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment and saying that the law will always take its course to deal with miscreant terrorists and criminals. Now, in talking about dealing with a miscreant terrorist and others, I want to actually take a look at a sentencing for a terrorist that took place just yesterday. Now, this was a member of a terrorist group who had actually confessed to multiple murders, rape, and indeed different terrorist attacks. And he was an ISWAP commander. His name is Husseini Ismail. And yesterday, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Now, in talking about the case of Nnamdi Kanu today, the court found him guilty on counts 4 and 5, saying he incited violence during the hashtag EndSARS protest, which resulted in the killing of security personnel and the destruction of government properties in Lagos. Now, quite a number of people have said yes, he made some statements which could actually be categorized as a violent statement, which could actually be categorized as pushing certain people maybe within the Eastern Security Network to actually carry out acts of violence, but that the EndSARS protest had nothing to do with him. In fact, one of the figures, one of, would I say, a public figure that spearheaded the EndSARS protest, specifically in Lagos, I'm talking about Renu Oduala, actually posted on X after this judgment was given. And in her tweet, she says, "What the hell is this? The APC is a devilish party. Kai, you people played politics on EndSARS, reached to Pinam on someone else. God, I beg." Now, quite a lot of Nigerians also, held the same sentiment, and they're saying, look, even if they don't know too much about the terrorist charge, how can the violence that was an offshoot of the hashtag EndSARS protest be pinned on him? Now, we do know that quite a number of Nigerians are not happy about the situation, but we're not trying to be sentimental here. We're just looking at the fact of the case. If the federal government say that they are looking to push out miscreants and people who are involved in acts of terrorism, and all of these terrorism charges on Nnamdi Kanu, based on what we've heard today, was actually based on him inciting people through words. What about those people whom we have seen repeatedly on video carrying out terrorist attacks? I mean, we can actually point to the one that happened on Tuesday evening in Eruku local government area of Kwara State, where you could see these people going into a church, shooting indiscriminately and carting people into the bush. There was the abduction of 25 girls on Monday in Kebbi State. Now, these are acts of terrorism, and we've consistently heard different figures within the government coming out to say, oh, they should be granted maybe amnesty, they should be negotiated with, and then we have someone else who's been convicted on terrorism charges for what he said. Anyway, we have Barrister Darlington Agomo right here in the studio to actually help us make sense of these issues. Barrister Darlington Agomo, how are you doing today? Good evening.
I'm okay, Chairman. You?
I'm very well, thank you. And welcome again. We're happy to have you here. Now, this is one case that we've been talking about for a while. I mean, I've taken quite some time to lay down the facts of the case, starting from 2021 till this whole case was resurrected, and now he's been sentenced to life imprisonment. What do you make of all of this?
Just like every other reasonable Nigerian, especially legal minds, I can't make sense out of this thing that happened today. I can't, seriously. Because all that happened there was a travesty of justice. All the people that are saying this will be a lesson for miscreants, those who feel they are above the law, this and that. Do you know that they are talking to themselves? They know the truth. If some people are not above the law of this country, they gave you 400 names of those sponsoring terrorism, and you sat on it. Because of what? If they are not above the law of this land, what are you doing from prosecuting them? If some people are not above the law of this country, what is Toji Bello doing in Nigeria, even as a Nigerian? And whenever he feel like, he will release some people that he captured, people in his custody. He will release them and give to federal government of Nigeria. If some people are not above the law of this land, how can they come for a meeting? with officials of the federal government wearing AK-47 and military fatigue and bullet stripes, coming with APG. If they are not above the law, if some people are not above the law of this country, what is Shegumi doing? Telling us that, look, you see these bandits, they are my boys. Anybody that attack them will not vote for him, and that we need to settle them, or there will be no peace in Nigeria. Shekugumi. If some people are not above the law of this country, so the shame is on all those people who did what they did today. The shame is on them because they know the truth. And the judgment of God, in fact, it is the judgment that will not be rubbish by anybody. His own judgment is more serious than the judgment of man. All the things they are accusing Nnamdi of today is what some people have done, even worse. He says something. Those people that was broadcasting a radio Kudirat in London, what happened to them? Is it not against the state? They came back and become leaders in this country, become governors. Is that not a fact? Who came to judge them for what they did? Nobody. They are above the law. You can imagine. If we begin to reel out all that even happened before Nnamdi started reacting, you will know that there was a reason for this man's reaction. He made it clear. All the things he was saying, he was making it emphatically clear that he is not ready to give up any part of Igbo land for anybody. That Biafra land will not be taken over by the Janjaweed from Chad and Sudan. Is that not what he was saying? So what is it? So he shouldn't say, meanwhile, you agreed that there is self-determination in UN and African Charter. You agreed. So what is wrong with all these things? Britain just left the European Union just yesterday ago. What is wrong with saying, I don't want to I belong to here. Here is too hot for me. I want to leave. What is wrong with that? That's my question. Why is the Nigerian government forcing everybody to remain here? Then you went and invited the terrorists from Africa to come and be killing us, Abi? You can imagine how government deliberately create problem. How long do you think this killing will continue before people will react? How long? You brought terrorists. You know yourself. You know they are not even apologetical about it. You brought terrorists to be killing us in Nigeria, and you want the same Nigeria to remain quiet and peaceful, Abi? How can that happen? Is that not what caused the problem? Is that not the reason why Nnamdi reacted? The federal government of Nigeria allows some people to come into this country and be killing us on daily basis. People that are not even Nigerian. And you keep quiet, all of you, all Nigeria, you keep quiet over this nonsense, Abi, thinking that today is Nnamdi, it will get your turn.
Have Nigerians actually kept quiet?
If they are not, look, if they did not keep quiet, why did they allow you to continue in the first place? Now they have entered the Kwara. From Kwara to Ekiti State is just 1 hour drive, 1 hour. What are they looking for all over Nigeria? Chioma, what are these people looking for all over Nigeria? Benue and Plateau now, in fact, that place is a conquered area. They did not only sack the people and drove them into IDP camp. They took over their village, took over their homes, and renamed it as their own. So, how do you define terrorism? Mention any place where Nnamdi or IPOB or ESN went to take over and rename it IPOB village, either in the southeast or anywhere. This thing we are saying here today, is it not happening? Is it not a terrorist that will leave his own country or wherever he's coming from, enter another country with force of arms and take over their village? Tell me. And you are saying nobody is above the law, nobody is this and that, nobody is above the law. You are talking to yourself. You know the truth. You know the truth. This was exactly what they did in the 60s against Awolowo And Justice Shoyimo told him that, look, my hands are tied. When Awolowo made the famous speech that whatever happens to a man happens to him for his own good. Is that not true? Yes. Shoyimo told him that, look, my hands are tied. That means he could not do anything. He had been ordered to do what he did. That's the meaning. They did it to Fela Ransom Kuti too. Abi, the judge had to visit him in prison where he told him something. So it did not start today. This is why I am advising Nnamdi Kanu. My dear, keep quiet. Just relax. Be free. Open. Don't allow this thing to hurt your mind. It's just the Federal High Court. The appeal is there. The Supreme Court is there. We will get there one by one. Don't do anything that will hurt your feeling. No. Look, Mandela went through this thing. They called him all sorts of names. Is that not true? We even harbored them here when they were fighting apartheid. When he died, the same Western world that called him all the criminal names in this world, they came to bow down at his feet. Mandela. Is that not true? He's not the only. So we can go on and on. They are calling you a bad name today. But let it not bother you, Nnamdi Kanu. Let it not bother you at all. IPOB members, don't bother yourself. One day, the Nigerian government will realize what they have been doing to the Igbos in this country. They will realize it and they will offer apology. Whether they like it or not, it will come to pass. Because I've asked questions. What exactly did the Igbo man do in Nigeria that will warrant this persecution? Nobody have told me. Nobody have told me. Meanwhile, they are the most diligent, industrious ethnic group in Nigeria, adding value wherever they go to. The Nigerian state does not recognize these things. Rather, anything that has to do with the bomber, all of them will flare up. They will start talking. They will start insulting him. You ask yourself, what is all this conspiracy all about? Babangida have written a book exonerating the Igbo man for all the coup allegations, yet they don't want to hear. That means there is something about the Igbo man, and that is what? His industry and diligence. It has become a crime in Nigeria. But terrorists who are adding nothing to Nigerian state, God forbid, who are adding nothing to Nigerian state are being pampered. The government can call them for a conference, even offer them money to please them. Was there any time anybody called Nnamdi Kanu or his people and said, come, what is your problem? What is going on here? But Nigerian leaders will go outside there to go and beg terrorists to stop killing Nigerians. Imagine. Nigerians, are you seeing your country? So when Donald Trump said this is a disgraced country, these are the reasons. This type of thing can never happen in a Senate climb. It can never happen. You are pampering terrorists, giving them all sorts of privileges all over the place. And now Nnamdi Kanu has become a bad boy because he said, no, you cannot take over my land. You cannot continue to kill my people. Is that not the only reason? Did IPOB kill anybody in the Southeast until you people brought your killer gang, unknown gunmen and all of them? And now, to hang a dog, you give it a bad name. IPOB have told you, Chioma, that look, give us the security of the Southeast, and if one person die, hold us accountable. They said it severally. A man who want to kill the people, will he be behaving like that? When they are evil men, they are unknown government kill Igbo, they say it's IPOB. Everything IPOB. I listened to what the DSA was saying. Everything they said about Nnamdi Kanu, what he said. He broadcast here. He said it here. He did it. He said, broadcast what you say with your mouth.
All right. Barrister Darlington, I was talking with Barrister Fred and Zako on the 6 p.m. news just before the evening rush, and he said that if we're actually to go by what the court is saying, that, he incited terrorist activities or terrorist attacks or violence by his rhetorics, by the things he said, that should have been a civil matter. And someone else is saying, look, you've not actually said that all the offenses that he's been sentenced for that he did not commit them. Because I actually have an excerpt of a broadcast that he made on a particular day, and where he was calling on certain people believed to be people of the Eastern Security Network to go into the streets and make sure that people sit at home on a particular Monday. And anyone who is stubborn, he actually mentioned people of a certain area, saying he knows that these people can be very stubborn. If you find them outside, you murder them, you kill them, you shoot at sight, right? So if you look at what they're saying, he said that he incited terrorist acts. I want you to actually look at that part.
Listen very well. You can see. Was it not a certain Sheikh Tenshi who told you and I that God told him to kill Tinubu's wife? That she's an infidel, she's a Christian. What is more provocative than that? I'm talking of the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Since you want to remind me of what Nnamdi Kanu said. What is more provocative than that? Or have you people forgotten? One terrorist, you told us that, look, if you kill 10 of us, we are going to kill 20 of you in this country. 2 of us. So, what are you telling me here? Sheikh Gumi and his bandits told us that if we don't pay them money, that there will be no peace in Nigeria. And they are doing it. In fact, they are carrying it out. What they said, they are doing it. So, which one are you telling me that Nnamdi Kanu said Nnamdi Kanu did not say?
You're saying whatever he said or did not say is not enough
for
him to be convicted on charges.
That's what I'm telling you, sir. They should have started prosecuting everybody that have just said anything at all. Okay. Yes. Let us start from there, because if you take care of the penny, the pound will take care of itself.
All right. I want us to look at
the people that went to... No, hold on. Okay. The people that went all over Africa and brought terrorists into Nigeria, and they come out and be telling us, Kawu Baraje to be precise, though. Kawu Baraje to be precise. He told us how they did it and brought them. They brought them. He said it, that they brought them. Please. Somebody brought a terrorist into Nigeria to kill all of us. And somebody said something with his mouth. Please, which one is worse here? The Nigerian state did not see all this one, Abi. They did not. Shame on all of you who saw this thing and kept quiet. Shame on all of you. When Wole Soyinka wrote a book, the man died in the face of injustice. Who kept quiet in the self? That is the meaning. That's the meaning. The man died. You Nigerians kept quiet, thinking that is the Nnamdi Kanu Igbo today. No, it will get your turn. By that time, I will see what you are going to say. Some people, they chase him into exile today because of these same people who are causing problem in Nigeria. Who made Nnamdi Kanu to react? Was it not when they wanted to take over the Southeast? Nobody want to talk about that. Up to nobody. Nobody. The reason for Nnamdi Kanu suggest nobody want to discuss it. People who are not even Nigerians are here killing us. And the federal government does not see anything wrong with that. Can you just imagine? As I talk to you today, Ogun State people cannot go to a certain area in their land to go and farm. They can't try it. They can't enter there. Gani Adam told us yesterday that they have surrounded the Southwest and they are ready to strike any moment from now. Who are the people? Are they IPOB people? Please, are there IPOB people that surrounded the Southwest that want to strike? Are there Igbos? Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. You say this thing you people are doing to the Igbos, God will rise up and fight for us. I'm not joking. God will rise up. They did it to the Jews, thinking they will exterminate, but God kept them. And today, look at where they are. We are not bothered. We have seen 99. Well, what is 100? You think you are teaching us, Abi? No. We have seen 99. What is 100? You can never kill the beetle. No matter how you try. Any Igbo man anywhere, just relax, keep quiet. This judgment is just making you strong.
All right,
it's making you strong.
Bryce Darlington, please, I need you to, just stay like that. That's better. When you're speaking to your mic like that is better, so it doesn't actually echo. All right. I wanted to talk on two issues. One is Nnamdi Kanu's attitude recently, and some have attributed that to his mental state of mind, saying you cannot expect someone who has been in DSS custody for so long, someone who has said his health is not at the optimum level, that you do not expect him to actually be fully mentally conscious or to have this full mental acuity. And that's the reason why he seems to have this outburst. If you remember, at one time he told Justice Binta Nyako to recuse herself from the case. He screamed at her. We have seen him screaming at his lawyers. You heard the judges saying that, oh, he even threatened to beat up the security officers in the court. And even today, at some point, he had to be removed from the court for disorderly conduct. And the question I want to ask is, how has this helped or worsened his case? That attitude of, the outburst, the vituperations and all of that, how did that make his case worse? Or the prosecution already had these premeditated judgments that they wanted to give. These judges already knew that this is what it would be. Because I recall speaking to Omoyele Sowore. It was Esther who spoke to him on the Evening Rush. I think it was last month. And he said that there is a concerted effort, or that there was a plan to convict Nnamdi Kanu. Personally, I spoke to his lawyer, Barrister Marshall Abubakar, and he said the same thing, that there was a plan to convict Nnamdi Kanu and then use his release as a bargaining tool or a bargaining chip to the people of the Southeast. Do you believe that's what's playing out here?
Look, there's a point you get to in life, you no longer care what happens to you. Do you know that? There is a point you get to, especially if you are what? A human rights fighter. An activist. There's a point you get to, you no longer care what happens to you because of what you are seeing around you. Nnamdi Kanu sees his ordeal as a persecution. And nobody will be happy seeing that he's being persecuted. Nobody. That is what is agitating his mind. All these things that are really not in court to go into even quote foreign judgment that our Supreme Court have outlawed, that Nigerian lawyers should not quote, because we have enough cases in here. Don't quote what has happened there somewhere in UK or US. They are not telling us people were being renditioned from America, the Phoebe's whatever. I say, look at these people. So you can now quote American law, Abi? Are you serious? When it suits you. The other aspect of it, Inko, you cannot talk about that. That is why I told you that these people, they think they are clever. They are not. They just disgrace themselves today with what they have done. You are not asking yourself, okay, if you say yes, you can. How about these other people that have invaded Nigeria from another country? What are you doing about them? Or are you not seeing them? Are you not seeing them when government is having meeting with them? Foreign terrorists. Okay, those people, they don't fall under Terrorism Act, Abi. They don't. God Almighty.
All right. I want to play an excerpt from Nnamdi Kanu during the court sitting today, when he claimed that he knows the law more than most of the people in that courtroom, including the judges.
This Supreme Court here. Hold on a second, please. I said, hold on. May you please your lordship, please. May I refer your lordship to section 266 of ABJA? Focus of law. What you're doing is not law. Please. You don't know the law. Please. Show me. Please. I can show me. When you have the right to go to my right to find my place. Show me. What the Constitution says. Show me. Well, I will rise and come back. You cannot show me. Can you please take him out and come back? I rise.
The judge left the court for him.
You can actually hear him, screaming at the judges. You can hear him shouting. You can hear him saying he knows the law more than them. Now, I actually want to also look at the part where they said, the some of the killings that happened during the hashtag EndSARS protest in October 2020 in Nigeria, they tied it back to him, saying it was his words. It was him who incited the violence and the killing of some security personnel across Nigeria. Many Nigerians were not actually happy about the lawyers saying that. So I want to play an excerpt from the court today, where he was accused of would I say sponsoring the EndSARS killings via his words, via his incitement.
Including the Lekki shooting. It was Nnamdi Kanu that invited the army to kill our youth. It was evil.
All right, this is going to take a little while, Barrister Darlington. I want you to actually just respond to that.
Yes, what I'm saying is, you see, when they want to hang a dog, they give it a bad name, Chioma. That is what played out in court today. All the accusation and allegation against Nnamdi Kanu, we tell you that they are shopping for evidence to nail him. More so when his lawyers are not there to defend him. That is it. It's unfortunate that the lawyers were not there, because there are certain things they would have trashed out. Yes, there are things they would have trashed out. And I listened to the whole judgment on one radio station. Throughout, I listened to it and I said, look at these people. The man who was reading the judgment just took time. He was inciting the US and UK government against Nnamdi Kanu. I ordered that this thing should be burned. This one, they took time. They concentrated on that. As if Nnamdi Kanu have committed the worst offense on earth. Meanwhile, they cannot substantiate all these things, except that somebody... Look, in this age of AI and technology, somebody can represent you, Chioma. As you are sitting here now, somebody can appear the way you are here now. Not you, everything about you, and make broadcasts. Do you know that? No, is that not possible in this age of AI? It's done.
So who is impersonating who?
Of course, these are things the lawyer would have even want to verify if they were in court to defend Nnamdi Kanu. Because you know that most of these things are lies. Somebody can even impersonate Nnamdi Kanu and be talking, and people, DSS will now say, on so you made a broadcast. Was it verified? Was it verified? It's just the DSS talking. A lawyer would have said, look, let us verify this. Let's call experts to know whether it was truly this man that said all these things. Including this one of EndSARS. Imagine Nnamdi Kanu. It was Nnamdi Kanu that ordered the shooting at the toll gate, Abi. The shooting that the Lagos State governor came out and owned up that, yes, he was the one. Is that not true? It's not Nnamdi Kanu. Can you just imagine? There is something they did not allege against this young man, just to make sure that they nail him. He did this, he did that. All those things that they accused Nnamdi Kanu for. Chioma, people have done 10 times worse things in this country, and they are walking free. I just gave you a few examples here that people can relate to.
Aslanti, you're going away from the microphone.
Things that people in Nigeria can now, relate to. Something that happened here. Not this Nigeria today that is boiling. Is it not insecurity that some people invited into this country? Was it Nnamdi Kanu that brought terrorists into Nigeria? Was it Nnamdi Kanu? This is a thing that Nigeria should be asking. These other people, what have you done with them? Is it not when you take care of the penny, the pound will take care of itself? Yes. Right now we have 7 terrorist organizations operating in Nigeria soil. Please tell me, is there anywhere in the whole world where IPOB is known as a terrorist organization? Is there any country that have named IPOB a terrorist organization? So if Nnamdi Kanu, listen very well, listen, if Nnamdi Kanu is heading IPOB, and IPOB is not a terrorist organization, that is according to the standard of the whole world, how can Nnamdi Kanu be a terrorist? Your organization is not a terrorist organization. Then how can you be heading such a, and they are calling you a terrorist? Please, does it add up? Apart from Nigeria, and that is Buhari, mention any other country in the whole world that sees IPOB as a terrorist organization. Nobody. You can see where they shot themselves in the right foot. Go and listen to what Americans are saying against Donald Trump, or even in UK. Go to Trafalgar Square in the UK and see what people are talking about their government. Just go there on a weekend and hear things that they sow with their mouth. Especially I go to the royal family. Well, in fact, I don't know how to describe what is going on here, seriously. We are not moving forward. You see this thing that they are doing here, they are even demarcating Nigeria. So when Donald Trump said you are a disgraced country, that is the reason. These are the things. I'm telling you.
All right,
because you cannot tell me why terrorists are walking about in Nigeria and you are now going to jail a man for self-determination that the whole world recognize. The whole world, not just you, recognize. And you are telling me it's not that. So, somebody cannot leave Nigeria, but you can bring terrorists into Nigeria, Abi. Look at the contradiction again. Terrorists can come here and take over Nigeria, but somebody cannot leave Nigeria and say, look, I don't like what is going on here. Look at the contradiction. And you say you are a country, you are moving forward. I want to see how Nigeria can move forward without the Igbos. Let them continue what they are doing. I've said it here. Let them continue what they are doing. At the end of the day, the will of God will prevail. You can't cause whom God has blessed. It's not possible. Right. You can't.
But Barrister Darlington, quite a number of people are saying that you're being sentimental or emotional over this issue, and that you are a lawyer yourself. So let's look at the legal angle of this issue. So you should actually analyze from legal angle. Yes, we quite a number of people say, okay, they know how you feel about Nnamdi Kanu, but as a lawyer, looking at the judge, just remove your sentiment, minus your sentiments or your emotions from this particular case, and let's look at the legal angles to it. Now, Nnamdi Kanu says he was not given time, he was not given that access to actually enter his defense. Not that at some point he sacked his lawyers, he called some witnesses, including Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, even Wike. Those were people who were supposed to be part of his witnesses. And then he came up and said, oh, okay, you know what, I don't want to have any of these witnesses again. At some point he says, oh, count 7 does not exist, it destroys the entire trial. At some point he said, this court does not have jurisdiction to try me. At some point he says the charge sheet does not display any existing written law. It's quite a lot, right? So from the legal angle, divorce your emotions from this particular topic and let's look at the legal angles to things. If you were his lawyer, or if you were standing as the prosecutor, or even if you were just a bystander, but one that is privy to the laws and constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
When they realized where the government was going, that was when Nnamdi Kanu sacked all his lawyers, and it is with their consent. Because the gamble here is that he wants to impose the onus of deciding this matter to the prosecution. And already the prosecution have a lot of evidence against him. If only Nnamdi Kanu had allowed his lawyers, they would have trashed this in that. I said it before. But he did not, maybe out of anger, knowing fully well where they are going. Again, that of terrorism prevention, I have said it here, it is not possible for government not to have such a thing in place. There is. There was in 2011 under Jonathan. Terrorism Act was established when it was repealed in 2013. Again, that was even the law under which Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. I said it here, not now. So when he was saying there was nothing like that, the law has been repealed, I said no, it's not possible. I said it.
So he was wrong in that assertion.
He was. And even when he said about rendition, I said, look, there was an existing case before the rendition from Kenya. Why they freed you in Kenya is because the Kenyan government have no case against you. That was why they gave you that judgment in Kenya. And because you have already earned the damages in Kenya, the federal government and that can no longer give you another one. You can't. You have already been compensated in Kenya for the rendition. So you can't expect the same thing in Nigeria. That means they are going to pay you double for the same offense, even if you bring it up. That is settled. So that of rendition, yes, is wrong. They admitted it themselves. That is wrong. Everybody is wrong. Everybody. But if Nnamdi Kanu say because of the way he was rendition from there, therefore he had no case now. I said it. I said no, it's not possible. You have a case already. A case was existing before that rendition. You can't use it to cancel your case. It's not possible. These are areas where I feel that if the lawyers have come to defend him, they would have thrashed it out. That's what I said it here severally. That if Nnamdi Kanu have allowed his lawyer, there are things they would have done. At least to even mitigate his 7 count. Yes, they would have reduced it. They would have reduced it on point of law. They would have done that. But now that the case is over, the person that is telling me I'm emotional, what do you want me to do now? We are going to appeal now, and from appeal to Supreme. So what are you saying? The matter has not ended. The matter has not ended. We have all said it here that a travesty of justice here. It is clear to everybody. It is clear. Because if they are basing this sentence on what Nnamdi Kanu said, that means if you start judging everybody under treasonable felony because of what they said, all of us should have been in prison now. All of us should have been in prison, including Sheikh Gumi. Let them bring every one of us who have said one thing or the other against the government. Let all of us enter prison, if that's what you want. I mentioned all the people that have said worse things than Nnamdi Kanu. Which all of them know, they don't want to talk about it. They have kept quiet because it's Nnamdi Kanu. You're emotional. Look, let nobody tell me that nonsense again. You're emotional. Because you are not the one wearing the shoe, Abi. You are not the one wearing the shoe, you're emotional. Because you are not the one. Because an Igbo man is on trial. And therefore he should be executed. That is when you will not be emotional. These people that have done worse things, you don't talk about them. It's Nnamdi Kanu. Are you not ashamed telling me I'm emotional? Emotional on what? Should I be happy that a man is being persecuted over nothing? He said this, he said that, he said that. The people that actually did something that put Nigeria where it is today, was it Nnamdi Kanu activity that made Donald Trump to put you under CPC? Was it Nnamdi Kanu's? Please tell me. Was it Nnamdi Kanu that made Donald Trump to say he's coming here to kill those who are killing us? Was it Nnamdi Kanu? Did he say when he come here, he's going to kill our people that are responsible for insecurity in Nigeria? Shame on you. Shame on you. You are talking. Look at people who are talking emotional. I wish I can see you. You tell me what is emotional. Telling me I'm emotional.
All right, Barrister Darlington. Let's actually look at the fact that Nnamdi Kanu kept saying that he is entitled to file his final written address and that he's not been allowed to file his final written address. The judge kept asking him to comport himself. Nnamdi Kanu told the court, says, show me where it is written that my final written address can be waived. While the judge then asked the DSS to take him out of the courtroom, there was a back and forth ongoing. Nnamdi Kanu refused to release the microphone to the DSS as instructed by the judge. Right now, for him not being allowed to file his final written address, would you say that's because the court had consistently given him the opportunity
they said
to do
it in
that?
their judgment, yes, but in the appeal, all these things will come up. Don't bother yourself. All these things will come up in the appeal. That's what I'm saying here. Whether they allow him in his final written address or not, all these things will be addressed at the appeal court. I've said it consistently here that we still have 2 windows. The appeal and the Supreme Court. After that, then you can now, decide on what to do. Whether we can go to West Africa or go to even, what's it called now? ICJ or anywhere. The matter will not just end like that because we are setting a precedent here. And like I told you in my other program, we are going to document this judgment for future reference. By that time, all the people that are running their mouth will say, oh, you want to change the law now, Abi? This was the law under which you convicted Nnamdi Kanu. We are going to apply it to the letter. Yes. we are going to apply it to the letter. Or any day somebody will go to the southeast, say you want to collect any land that does not belong to him. You ask the Igbo to keep quiet, Abi. Hold on, no. Look, it can never happen, no. You can't beat a child and ask that child not to cry. These people that I want to take over Nigerian land, they will tell me who sold it to them. It's important to add it because that is the genesis of all these things. That is the genesis of all this matter. Nobody want to talk about you. You are talking of Nnamdi Kanu, Abi. Why was he agitating? You have not asked yourself. No, why was it Nnamdi Kanu agitating? Did he just woke up? Why was Sunday Igboho agitating? Did he just woke up? I don't know why people don't look at the genesis of any matter. When did the Igbo become violent in Nigeria? When? Are you not the one that prompted it? By your actions and inactions. You want everybody to keep quiet. Why people that we don't know where they came from will take over Nigeria?
Barrister Darlington, we need to go on a very short break, and then when we return, the conversation continues. You have been listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let's take a very short break, and when we return, the conversation continues, and the phone line will be open so that you can also give us your own perspective on these issues.
Customer, welcome. What do you want buy?
I want buy changeover. Quarter fuse and distribution board made of 100% heavy duty copper.
Oh, come, I get them. See, I'm here.
No, now I'm looking for Slatter Star J quarter fuse and distribution board, Nippo quarter fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel.
But Oga,
don't worry. I know where to get them. Whether na Star J changeover quarter fuse, Slatter distribution board, Nippo quarter fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel, Star J ceiling fan, sockets, all earthen materials. Make you no go do cover-wise pan foolish show. Slatter Star J Indian product na #1 since 1961. Made of 100% heavy-duty solid copper with no compromise. Available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Slatter Star J, na you biko.
Welcome back to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I'm your host. My name is Chima Innocent, and I've been speaking with Barrister Darlington Agomo right here on the Evening Rush. We've been talking about the case of Nnamdi Kanu and the life imprisonment sentence that was handed down to him after he was convicted on 7 counts of terrorism. Now, still talking about terrorism, right? Sheikh Ahmad Gumi is in the news again. He was at the University of Ibadan. He is currently in Nigeria. Actually, quite a number of people were saying, oh, he ran away from the country and he was talking from outside the country, but he's currently in Nigeria. A few hours ago, he was at the University of Ibadan and actually talking about this same terrorism. I want us to take a listen to him where he was talking about how these headsmen are suffering from lack of education and unemployment. And let's just actually take a listen to him so that we know where we are on the war against terrorism. And we talk about how these kind of rhetorics can actually feel some kind of feeling, especially amongst Nigerians who have been victims of these terrorism-related acts.
Whenever you hear boom, then I have a barrage of missiles coming at me.
all because of mispresentation. My dear brothers, you are all LMR. And you are more likely to understand. We find ourselves in an eye of the storm of insecurity which we are discussing, and we found the reason. The basic reason is what all this erudite professor has been saying. Lack of education, unemployment. These are the two evils. So when I understand that our herdsmen are suffering from this too, you can imagine now, if we select maybe 10 people here, keep them with the cows alone, there's no communication with the outside world of the civilization. Come back in 1 year and see how these 10 representatives will be.
All right, that was Sheikh Gumi actually speaking at the University of Ibadan. Quite a number of people say he keeps representing these terrorists and trying to give them a voice, making it look as if what they're doing is not that bad and that they are highly misunderstood. And quite a number of Nigerians feel like the federal government is treating terrorism with kid gloves. Now, you may say that this particular story I want to read out to you now is not related to what we're talking about, but I saw a report whereby all schools have been shut down in 4 local government areas in Kwara State.
Of course, yeah,
due to potential terrorist attacks. They're scared that anything could happen, and so they shut down those schools. But then again, when we think about it, if these children don't go to school, that doesn't mean that they are safe in their homes. Right now, we then go to the ADC. The ADC is actually criticizing the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, that's George Akume, saying why would he attribute this recent upsurge of terrorist attacks in Kebbi and Kwara State to the remarks or the tweets made by U.S. President Donald Trump. He said the ADC National Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi actually issued a statement earlier today saying that George Akume's comments were an amateurist deflection, and it was a shameless attempt by the APC-led federal government to evade accountability, saying, oh, if Trump didn't talk about this, the terrorists would not be so inclined to increase their attacks all around Nigeria. But we know that these terrorist attacks, quite a number of people who live in these regions are telling us that it is being underreported. So if Sheikh Gumi says it is lack of exposure, it is lack of education, it is unemployment, how do the governments or the governors of these states actually push this illiteracy and unemployment? Because I'm seeing a report that in Zamfara State, the government wants to sponsor mass wedding for 200 orphans. This is not the first time we are hearing it. Sometimes you see empowerment programs and what they're giving them are wheelbarrows. What they're giving them are maybe bicycle tires or one leg of Okada tires, right? So would you say that the people around here are not even helping themselves? Because we're talking about terrorism in a broader, wider aspect. It starts from illiteracy. They don't understand why they have to go to school. They don't even have good schools. They don't even have good buildings for them to actually learn in these places.
You know why this man is doing all these things? It's because you and I are not interrogating it. Whenever he say these things, some people will still have sympathy for him. Nobody will ask him, what are you saying? Chioma, during the time of Babangida, a certain Jubril Aminu, who was the education minister, started the nomadic education. Babangida asked him, where will you get the money? The man said, you should not worry. What did he do? All the grant and subvention they give our university for research, he yanked it off and pursued nomadic education. And what was it? That wherever the nomads are going with their cattle, the teachers will be following them and teaching them. Very creative. At the end of the day, we didn't see the nomads. We didn't see education. Our money, we didn't see. That one just entered into the bush, the money. Wasted. Meanwhile, our university, we are suffering for lack of funds to our research. When they get that opportunity, did they take it? The answer is no. Chioma, they did not even take it, or they didn't bother. Jonathan built Almajiri schools for, these Almajiri to be taken off the street. Delta leader said, no, what they need is money, not education. Those schools, most of them have been closed down by now. Chioma, since independence, northern leaders have been in power for close to 50 years out of our 64 years of independence. What did they do with the money they are getting and all with the power they have been wielding? From military to civilian. What did they do with the power? When Awolowo gave the people of Southwest free education, did they not embrace it? There are some people who would have been ended up as a palm wine tapper in their villages. But for Awolowo's free education, they became somebody in life. Is that not true? The North, what were they doing with all the money and all the privileges and advantage they have? So where should Gumi come and tell us that we should be spoon feeding their own people? Whose fault is it? Tell me. You have said that in the other day when I interfaced with him. Every time they feel that we owe them a duty, we owe them something, that we should be pampering them, we should be giving them things. These other people from the south here who struggled on their own, went to school, go and learn handwork, go and learn trade. Is the government that gave them the resources? What kind of country is this, for God's sake? Have you seen why the Boma want to leave? Have you seen it? No, have you seen it? Because nobody will tolerate this type of nonsense. Am I the one that said you should not send your children to school? Please, for God's sake. I haven't made effort to say let them go. You refuse. You completely refuse. So how is that the fault of Nigerians? Nobody is asking Gumi this thing. He's talking all over the place. Nobody.
Do you support those who are calling for his arrest and persecution?
Look, that one, nobody will arrest him. In fact, if he's not confident, he will not be doing what he's doing. He's so confident that nothing will happen. Even with Tinubu in government as the president, look at how he allowed him to be going all over the place, talking and making noise. Let somebody from the side try this thing he's doing now. Whether they will not arrest him. That is the Nigeria the Igbo man don't want to stay in. Because when you are doing something, you must have a very good reason for doing it. That is the Nigeria Nnamdi Kanu doesn't want to be in it. This type of thing. These people that have struggled since independence, have we been in government? Have you been president? Please answer me now. Have you been president? So this thing that they have collected, Buhari was there for 8 years to their own advantage. Did we complain? Did we bother? Yet they still want to blame me for their misfortune. Can you imagine?
All right. The U.S. Congress actually held a hearing in Washington talking about the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. They also spoke about what, in their words, is Nigeria's poor judiciary and the lack of rule of law. And they also cited Nnamdi Kanu as an example. And I actually want us to take a listen to what one of the congressmen said during the hearing.
Good. They are becoming interested in Nigeria. Good.
22, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear.
Yeah.
All right, that was actually a U.S. congressman speaking on the situation in Nigeria and also talking about Nnamdi Kanu's case.
Good.
Now, we've seen a section of Nigerians rejoicing over his conviction and the life imprisonment. We've seen the federal government actually calling for a death sentence. The court says, it's within our purview to give a death sentence, but we will temper justice with mercy and just give you life imprisonment. That is to say, he should be happy that they pitied him and did not send him to the gallows. Do you think that this judgment will actually increase? We've been preaching unity. We've been saying there should be no ethnic baiting, there should be no ethnocentrism. We should all be happy to be part of one Nigeria. Do you think that this judgment would actually widen the divide between the people of the Southeast and other Nigerians? Because many people from the Southeast are now saying that they feel even more marginalized, because they're saying when it comes to terrorism, if the person is not from the Southeast, the federal government will treat it with kid gloves. They'll say they want to negotiate. They'll say they are repentant terrorists. They will admit them into the Nigerian army. But that if it has to do with someone from the Southeast, like in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, that person receives the highest or the worst possible judgment.
Good. This thing that I heard now from the U.S. government, a lawmaker, in fact, it glancing my heart. That's what I've been saying, that they should be made aware of what is going on here, so that it will be on record. Now that this thing is going on, will anybody come tomorrow and ask Igbo people, why are you agitating? Can you tell me how you are marginalized? When you see things like this, how can the people be happy? Tell me. No, who is that person that will be happy? When you see things that are going on in Nigeria today, how can you be happy? The outside world even know more than us. Look at that man, what he said now. He read out, even including Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal, and how the West African court have even said, look, release this man. They said no. But other terrorists, remember what happened to Mietiala leader when they formed one terrorist group?
It was a vigilante.
A vigilante group, good. That may turn into something else. The government disbanded it. It took the man to court and all that. Within hours, the man was released. The case did not go on at all. They released the man. They released him. How many times have government had a meeting with these people? Have anybody called IPOB and said, come, what is your problem? What are you agitating? Did anybody one day from Buhari to Tinubu, did anybody call them for a meeting and they refused to answer? You can see, but you see how they are pampering terrorists, calling them for a meeting. This is in the domain of international community. So I am no longer bothered. The world is watching.
But again, Vice Darlington, the question I ask is, do you think that the unity we've been trying to preach,
how can
judgment destroys it?
Hold on. How can they be? You cannot talk of unity, peace and progress without what? Justice now. You can't. Even the government knows. They are just wasting their time. It's not possible. I told them that this thing that they allow these terrorists to be doing, it will cause problem for them. Problem that they cannot handle. Because I don't see how these people continue to take states, take other people's land, from the north to the middle belt to southwest to southeast. You mean this thing will continue and nobody will react, Abi? Nobody will react. It's not possible now. It's a matter of time.
All right. I want us to start taking calls in about 2 minutes.
It's a matter of time.
Would you say that the Southeast leaders did their best to ensure that this judgment did not go the way it has gone?
They did.
Because if we cast our mind back, some Southeast governors, we could say they actually rejoiced or they called for the prescription of IPOB.
They did all those things. Just for what? For the optics, not that inside their heart.
So the Southeast leaders, the Southeast governors, did they do their best for Nnamdi Kanu or not?
Why not? They did. Who did not go and beg Buhari and Tinubu? Who? The letters was the letter they write, 44 lawmakers. Is that not a fact? Iwanya went to plead. The last of them, the Titans, Mbazulize, he said, please, let this be the last wish for me. Release this my son to me. Did anybody listen? Ohaneze went. all the leaders of Igbo, they wrote letter. They wrote. It's there in Aso Rock. Did they listen to them? Because they were working towards this answer. Yes, they were working towards this answer. I said people have done worse than Nnamdi Kanu, and nobody even arrested them, not to talk of prosecuting them. Is that not a fact? Please tell me. Eh? Do you know what it means to go and adopt people in their homes and took them to the forest, and they are living with you? Eh? A foreigner told you Bello. If I remember that man, I used to wonder, is there anything wrong with Nigeria? A foreigner in Nigeria terrorizing Nigerians in their own land, and nobody is saying a word. Chioma, please, how do you describe that? The people that are talking of emotion, how do you describe? Because you are not involved now. Yes, it has not affected you. That's why you are running your mouth. Emotion. Do you know what? As I'm talking to you now, some Nigerians are in that man's domain. Told you Bello. Some Nigerians are in his captive. Eh? And it does not bother Nigerian government that look, it's unfortunate, seriously. Very, very unfortunate. Leah Sharibu, where is that girl now? Nobody. And you are telling me we should all keep quiet, Abi. No, don't apply emotion. Emotion. Look at their mouth and emotion. Telling me I will blame emotion.
Darlington, we do know that another Biafra agitator, Simon Ekpa, was actually convicted by the court in Finland of a terrorism act or terrorism-related activities due to this same violent rhetoric, due to this same calling for violence to be perpetrated on certain people around the southeast. They say that people who were murdered, people who suffered incidences of violence, was due to what he said. Now Nnamdi Kanu has been convicted. He's been sentenced to life imprisonment. Simon Ekpa has also been convicted. He's currently incarcerated. What does that portend in that for the Biafra agitation? Does it mean that Biafra was never meant to be?
No.
I mean, from Ojuku's efforts were truncated.
No.
Nnamdi Kanu's efforts seem to have been truncated. I mean, let's not even talk about Simon Ekpa and his own rhetorics. Does that mean that Biafra, we're not going to see it and it was never meant to be?
It's not possible. If you go and look at the book written by Frederick Fawcett, in the last chapter he said, it will not be long before another Ojukwu will rise, another Emeka Ojukwu will rise. Nobody, that prophecy, nobody knew when it would come or how it will come, but it came. Is that not true? So, when you are talking of agitation, it will continue. It will continue. Even in the next 1,000 years, it will continue until the right thing is done. Remember, the Irish Republic also, you remember how long they disturbed the UK until the right thing is done. Is that not why there are peace in America, in the UK today? Go and check all the places where there is agitation. Go and check what caused it. Government came in and said, so this is the problem. Oh yeah, come, let's settle it. Is it not when they settled that everybody now became quiet? But you cannot keep quiet in the face of injustice. It can never happen. Somebody will be angry. What are you telling me? This one that Sheikh Gumi is telling us that are they Nigerians? How do we reconcile and settle with the bandits who came from outside Nigeria? That's the question. But you are talking of indigenous people of Nigeria. You now remove their right and give it to foreign terrorists. Please, how can there be peace in such a country? How can there be development? No, tell me, how does that happen? There is no way the Southeast will be at peace if this marginalization and the injustice continue. It's not possible.
All right.
Mandela, let me tell you, Mandela, there is no name they did not call him when he was fighting apartheid. We've been harbored most of them. They went to school here, we sponsored them, Nigerians. We know how much we spent. They called him all sorts of names. But when he came out from prison after 27 years, he said, they asked him this question, come, now that you are out, are you ready to do this in people? He said, look, if the situation that warranted apartheid come a bit, he's ready to repeat what they did. Yes, that's the truth. That is the truth. You cannot be telling me, don't worry, because you are enjoying the evil, Abi. You know, when you are enjoying something that is, you know, you don't feel like anything. But when you take my rights and act your own, you now tell me to don't worry. You are holding my right. You say I should not worry. For what? Keep my right and give me my right and take your own now. That's the only way there can be peace now. You took what belongs to me and you are telling me I should not worry. For what? Are you a human being? Nobody does that. In fact, you would rather die than to allow somebody to take your right, your inheritance, out of his own. Where does that happen? More so when you are not even from Nigeria. You came here to take over everything from me, and you say there should be peace. If the Nigerian government does not solve this problem, it will come. It will boomerang. Go and quote it, because I remember Rwanda. What is there this particular issue? When you take an ethnic group and impose them on others and give them all the privileges, treat them like they are kings, the other ethnic group will say, for what? Who are you? That was what caused the problem in Rwanda. When the Tutsis were imposed on the Hutus, who are equally indigenous of that country, and the Hutus said, no, we cannot take this. You can't take everything from us. And they went to war. Is that not true? So what makes you think it will not happen here if you don't check this thing that's going on? No, tell me, what makes you think that it will not happen here if you don't check this thing that is happening? Look at how people are giving us restless night. Every day, these people, they don't do any other thing just to kill. Take people's land, take people's villages. And the federal government is hearing all this thing that we are shouting at. You have all said, come, you these people, what are you disturbing Nigerians for now? You don't need the whole Nigeria to rear your cow now. People even invited them. Niger said, come, we'll give you all the land, everything. We'll build everything for you. Come. They said, no. Kanu called them, come. Is this land where you grace? Come, we have more than enough. Kogi called them. They refuse. Chioma, they refuse. So, what else do you want us to do? Don't you know that these guys, they are looking for something? And except you stop them, they are going there. They will not stop.
All right, then let's actually open the phone line so that we can get to hear your opinions on the issues we're discussing this evening right here on the Evening Rush. You're tuned into the Evening Rush and Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent and I've been your host. I've been speaking with Barrister Darlington Agwomo. He's been giving you his own perspectives on the issues and the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu on 7 counts of terrorism. He's also been sentenced to life imprisonment on about 4 counts, and on 3 counts he was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment and 5 years imprisonment. It's time for you to call and be a part of the conversation. The number to call for direct access, if you want to speak to us directly, it's 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. On WhatsApp, it's 0817-175-6338, 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. You can send a message or call me on WhatsApp. Now, I do understand that quite a number of us feel some type of way about the judgment of the Federal High Court today, but I want you to remember that his lawyers have said they will appeal, so the case still goes on. It might even go as far as the Nigerian Supreme Court. So as much as some people might want to be emotional about what's happening, I'd like you to keep your sentiments and keep your opinions within the bounds of facts and figures. All right, please, and please, every caller has about 60 seconds to make their opinions known, but please, let's remain within the bounds of reason. Let's not use violent rhetorics. Remember that one of the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on 7 count charges of terrorism is that he was inciting the people to cause harm and to wreak violence. Coming up, I want to hear from you. Please let us actually keep to this, and also turn off your radio set before you call. It's not even to reduce the volume or turn down the volume. Turn off your radio set before you call so that there will be no interference. I want to hear from you. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Good evening to you, Remy. How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to the conversation.
Barrister, I greet you.
Well done, my brother.
If it is about inciting the public, why is Pantami working freely?
I wonder.
Later now, I go here say they go talk say now we dey market Nigeria. How about your justice system? You want FDIs. The world is a global village as it is now. And the world can see that your system here is faulty. An investor cannot get justice in your court of law. And you think they will come and invest here? There's no other way you can demarket this country than what is happening now. And the saddest part is this: we are sounding helpless. We are all seeing how APC is destroying every fabric of our institutions, from judiciary to other arms of government, and we can't do nothing about it. It played out in 2020 election when the judiciary took a side, same as Yakubu, INEC. So who are we to run to? Should we go on the street and pick up weapons? The answer is no. But what can we do? They will tell you to go to court. Can we get justice in the court? The answer is no. A few days ago, we saw Your Monday We Shall Stand being played among judges. I'm telling you. And none of them protested. None of them protested. None of them walked out of that place. Yet they are still quiet about it. And you are surprised to see the outcome of today's judgment. I saw Wike posting a building construction, I think, for the judiciary, somewhere in Abuja. So what do you expect? So they're compensating the judiciary in a way. So they do their bidding. The sad part is our system has been messed up by this present government. And it's so funny that we are so helpless. There's nothing we can do about it. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Remy. Thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please?
Good evening, Gemma.
Good evening to you. How are you doing?
Good evening.
All right, Mr. Mado, go ahead, please. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, but currently I agree with you.
Well done, my brother.
You see, the judgment of today, my happiness is that the judge protect Bible
exactly. And he said he was one of the apostles of Jesus Christ.
For sure. That is my greatest joy today. And his name is James.
That is it now. He says James.
So I am happy about the whole thing today because he protect Bible. That Bible he protect today will be against him. I'm telling you. All over his life. Every time of his life. If you remember what he said today, that Bible he protect. Whatever he does, he will never be free in life.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. User IDEL3T whatever on YouTube. I can see your comment. You say Chima is very, very happy. Congratulations, Chima. Your prayers have been answered. When it gets to the eyes, the nose will follow. I don't understand this particular comment. Choma will be happy. Why would Choma be happy? What does Choma have to do with this? Is it Choma that convicted Nnamdi Kanu? Is it Choma that said he committed acts of terrorism? Is it Choma that asked the court to actually sentence him to life imprisonment? Is it Choma that asked the federal government to ask for a death sentence to him? Are you looking for someone to blame? If you're looking for someone to blame, I'm the wrong person. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Hello, are you there? Welcome to the Evening Rush. All right. Hello, welcome to the Evening Rush. Turn off your radio set and give me a call back. 0803-692-9933. Please turn off your radio set before you call. I'm not asking you to reduce the volume this time. Please turn off your radio set before you call. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you doing? Turn off your radio set and then give me a call back. Welcome to the Evening Rush. Turn off your radio set. Welcome to the Evening Rush. Please turn off your radio set and give me a call back. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Hello? Good evening. What's your name and location, please? All right, give me a call back. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Good evening to you.
Hello?
Good evening to you. What's your name and location, please?
Okay. This is Engineer Emmanuel from Osogbo.
Welcome, engineer. Go ahead, please.
I will start my comment by, first of all, adhering to the formal protocol by greeting my moderator, Chioma, and your guest, Barrister Darlington.
Thank you.
Well, I will start my comments by first admitting everything that Barrister Darlington and commending Barrister Darlington. But I want to take my stand in saying Nigeria have seen it all, and the Igbo race have seen it all. We have all been enlightened about what is going on in this country against the Igbo race. But unfortunately for them, this country is going the wrong direction, which is going to haunt them soon. Because I've never seen a country whereby there's no justice and terrorists walk around. The government have to, aside the Kubo, have to indict the government by saying the government gave him a contract to be killing Igbos. And such people are walking freely, showing up themselves on social media. But I believe there's light at the end of the tunnel. As for Barrister Darlington, keep your cool and don't worry. All the Igbos, we are behind you, and we will be behind the Igbo tribe. The Igbo tribe remains the only tribe that is biblical.
Thank you.
The Igbo tribe remains the only tribe that comes from the east.
Thank you for your call. 08036929933. Hello.
Hello, Shama. Good evening.
Good evening to you. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Ralph, calling from Satellite Town.
Welcome, Ralph.
Honestly, my heart breaks today. I must tell you the truth. It's not just about getting down the kind of work, it's about where Nigeria is today. Nigeria, I don't use some certain words, but the way Nigeria do see judgment today is annoying. It's a pure fight against Igbos, and I must tell you the truth. Nigeria have not committed whatever the people are not committing today.
Hello, are you there? All right. I think that sometimes some people, actually get on the show to say some kind of things or make some kind of comments that are intended to just annoy one. Okay, Chuku Joshua 5932 on YouTube. This comment is for you. I will not take that. I absolutely will not take that. Normally, I wouldn't give any kind of thoughts, or I really wouldn't speak about this, or just because sometimes you will say these things in order to just make one feel bad. But this particular one is rubbish. It is arrant nonsense. Okay, Chuku Joshua 5932. Your countenance says it all. You usually refer to IPOB as prescribed. In fact, I question your paternity. You have absolutely zero right under the sun to question my paternity. And I'm going to mark your name. The next time I see a comment from you, I get a call from you or anything, I will not read it out. And I'm saying that to you right now. Okay, Chuku Joshua, you have no right under the sun. My name is Shema Innocent. I am a very proud Igbo girl. I have absolutely nothing to do with what's happening to Nnamdi Kanu. My job here is to be the moderator of this show. My job here is to be the anchor, to ask our analysts questions and for them to answer. You're very wrong with what you said today, and I take absolute exception to that. And with that, you have gotten on my wrong foot. And I will never, ever, 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 ever read any comment that comes from you again. And that's the last I'm going to say on this issue. 08036929933. 08036929933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. Hello there. Welcome to Evening Rush. What's the name?
Good evening. My name is Darlington. I'm calling from Kanu.
Welcome.
God bless you for the good work you are doing. I want to thank Barrister Darlington. I'm so much angry today. I'm so angry. If the APC government can sentence somebody for terrorism, that means Nigeria should sentence them to death for bringing terrorism into Nigeria. That's it now. They should be sentenced to death for bringing terrorism into Nigeria. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you for your call. 08036929933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. All right then. All right. I think I just opened the can of worms to all the people who have many nonsense to say. You can keep it coming, but I'm not going to take all of these comments. I'm not even going to give time to this, honestly. Welcome to Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please?
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, Barrister Darlington.
Good evening, my brother.
My name is Isole Mekano. Or language. Whatever you've done, you will carry it with your head. And this name, I refer the name to the judge. When you are tribal, when you are serving public and you are tribal because of this person is from Igbo or from Yoruba or from Hausa. Let me tell you what happened today. That the God in heaven is watching and the land of Nigeria is watching. Let me tell you, this life, whatever you do, will surely come back. If you do good, good will surely beat you at your doorstep. The same thing with bad. Let me tell you, whatever they are doing, God is watching, and people is watching, the world are watching, and the land they are watching, the air we are breathing is watching. It will judge them one by one. It will judge them. What they are doing to you, it will judge them. It will judge them. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. 08036929933. Quite a number of people are looking for where to channel their anger, and if I'm the wrongest person in the world for you to channel your anger at, I'm the wrongest person ever for you to channel your anger at in this situation. So just talk about the facts of the case. If you don't want to talk about the facts of the case, just sit down and listen to the conversation. All right. Welcome to Evening Rush. Thank you for holding on. Oh dear, I just took your call and then you ended it. 08036929933, 08036929933. On WhatsApp, it's 0817-175-6338. You can send a message or you can call me on WhatsApp. Welcome to Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please?
Good evening, my name is Jonathan.
Welcome, Jonathan. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Please, I just want to say that I'm so disappointed for the judgment that came up today. And if a matter himself knows the definition of terrorism, you understand? And then he was bold enough to use the Bible to judge Nnamdi Kanu. Lord, but if terrorism is not what he means, my prayer is that he will see real terrorism face to face in a matter of days. And all the people that sponsored and supported this evil in this nation, the people that are the main architects of terrorism are there. Even people that say that they will kill the life of the president because he's not of the same faith, they are there. He didn't say it. And he himself, he went and read the Bible. I'm disappointed at the church. He's using the Bible. But the God of the Bible will judge him and his family.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. I do appreciate it. 08036929933. Hello. I don't know. This particular person you've been trying to call on WhatsApp for some reason. It just doesn't go through. You know what? Call me directly and I'll take your call. All right. 08036929933. 08036929933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. I want to hear from you. This is the Evening Rush on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, the number one station that gives you a voice all over the world. Hello. Welcome to Evening Rush.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you. How you doing? Welcome to the Evening Rush.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Mazi from Germany. Honestly, today is a very sad day for every one of us here. Nobody's happy about what happened today because after Nnamdi Kanu spent almost 5 years in the DSS dungeon, he was given life imprisonment for broadcasting on the radio. The DSS did not catch him with any ammunition, no sharp object, no arm was caught within Nnamdi Kanu, yet they sentenced him to life imprisonment. And some people are happy, some people are jubilating. It's a shame. The lawyer, I listened to the lawyer, and he said, today God have brought end of insecurity and suppression in the South as they finally sentenced Nnamdi Kanu. But today, that means this man is saying that all the insecurities that's happening in the South, both in the South, West, South, and even in Kwara State, is being caused by Nnamdi Kanu and his group, which is very, very unfortunate for such a very elderly person to be lying to his children and grandchildren. is a shame. Finally, EndSARS, they also convicted Nnamdi Kanu on EndSARS.
Yes.
EndSARS, after the whole massacre, there was a panel, and that panel never mentioned Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB on that panel. That indicted Nigerian government, Lagos government, and the military. This is just not a justice. This is an injustice to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu does not deserve life imprisonment in Nigeria. It is a shame that Nigerian judiciary is not neutral. You saw what happened the other day. They were singing on the mandate of the president. They stand. That day was the day that judiciary died in Nigeria. Thank you and God bless you, Baba.
Thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation right here on the Evening Rush. We have a few minutes to go before we have to go. So please call me up. I want to hear from you. I'm seeing all the messages. I will try my best to take as many as I can before we have to go. Please remain within the bounds of reason and facts when you give your own submissions. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing? Welcome to Evening Rush.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Hello.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Go on.
I think you have to give me a call back, please. Welcome to the Evening Rush. Good evening. How you doing?
Hi, good evening, Shoma.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. My name is Matthew. Good evening.
Welcome, Matthew.
Yeah, I work now. I need Mr. Darlington.
Well done.
Yeah, first of all, I don't know where to start. I'm just speechless, seriously. I'm a bona fide of Taraba. I'm from Taraba, but I'm based in Lagos. What happened today, I'm so sad. I feel so bad for what happened, honestly. How can we call down? How do we call ourselves Nigerian? If something like this happens to this man is saying, I have not done anything wrong, you have not killed anybody. I've never come across this man, but I've never seen this man carry something like dangerous weapon against somebody. And someone that is over there killing people are dying almost every day, nothing has been done about it. And the innocent civilians, they are sending to jail for what? What has he done wrong? I'm just asking questions. How can we live life tomorrow? How can we unborn children grow up and say, okay, I'm from Nigeria. How do we live our life? What are we going to tell ourselves? How are we going to tell ourselves? I was thinking, when I say that on Facebook, I was just devastated. See, all my life I grew up in Igbo. As I speak to you, I have friends. I'm working with the company, and the company owned by a Igbo man. The money is from Abia State. How long are we going to continue like this? Hatred over every day. Hatred. You see this one like this. Come on. Everything I was grew up. I came out in this life. I never knew. I don't know. Like I don't need to show difference between Igbo and Yoruba. All I want. Myself. I found myself. I can live anywhere. If I find myself in Igbo land, I can live. I've been in Port Harcourt before. I've been in Abia before. I live coldly, like people who don't have any issues today. I'm just friendly with them. How long are we going to like that, Nigeria?
Thank you for your call.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your call.
In that Taraba, a particular village in that place, they have taken it over and renamed it. Foreign terrorists, they are in that Taraba now. They have renamed that place as their own in Taraba. And that is the T.Y. Danjuma's home. You can see what is going on. Gradually, they are taking territories, renaming it, declaiming it, and it has now become their own. That is what they want to do in the South. That Nnamdi Kanu said no, we will not allow it. We will not allow it. The same thing they did in Plateau and exactly, because there is a template. It is their modus operandi. That's how they operate. Whenever they subdue a place, they take it over and rename it and claim that it's their own. And there is nothing anybody can do to remove them from there. That is what they want to do in the Southeast. People don't know. So when you are blaming in the car, just wait. Your own time is coming.
Welcome to Evening Rush.
Hello, good evening, Choma.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening, Choma.
Good evening to you. Thank you for calling.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. So the thing is, when I listened to that judgment today, I was devastated. Seriously, that Justice Omotosho just confirmed what Showore already said before the Nnamdi Kanu protest. Showore said that this government wants to jail Nnamdi Kanu at all costs. And Justice Omotosho, or whatever his name is, has perfected it. But he read the Bible, no problem. There is a God that is the judge of all.
Exactly.
That everybody must stand before to be judged. It's a shame that Nigeria does not have judiciary anymore. It's a shame. I was listening to the judgment, the way he was reading the judgment. I was crying in my mind. I was crying in my heart. I was bitter. How did we get to this level in this country? How did we get here? How did you find ourselves in this country like this? How did we get here? How did we get here?
That is
it's painful. It's painful. Besides, my name is Peter. I'm calling from First. It's painful.
Thank you. Thank you for your call.
It's painful. How did we get here?
They said the punishment.
Every day we wake up.
The punishment for the wise is to be ruled by fools. That is the punishment for the wise.
Is that if the wise does not do anything?
So yes, we live with it.
Welcome to Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Hello, are you there? All right, give me a call back. Welcome to Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Welcome to Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Hello.
My name is calling from the jail.
All right, Chibuzo, let's hear from you quickly.
I'm for no call, but she gets out of let you go to camp. No, nobody no go do anything happen. Because if they read this touch now, they will try and say they hate them, know they believe.
All right, thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. I want to hear from you. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, the number one station that gives you a voice all over the world. Hello, welcome to Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please? Hello? Hello, are you there? All right, give me a call back. 0803-692-9933. I want to denounce my citizenship as a Nigerian. Ha ha ha. All right. I'm not the one you should be telling that, right? 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation, or send a message on WhatsApp, or call me on WhatsApp 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. Call me up. I definitely want to hear from you. This is the Evening Russian Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Very, very soon, it will be time for us to go. I also have some very important, interesting information for you, and that'll be coming up very, very, very shortly. But in the meantime, I'm still taking your calls. Good evening. Welcome.
Hello, Chairman.
How are you doing, sir?
Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good evening. This is Oladipo Aguma. Anyway, you may not hear. I hear you. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You're welcome.
What's happened today? I'm not surprised. I'm not disappointed with the judgment. I know what they are going to do. They did it to Jesus Christ. So they did it to Nnamdi Kanu now. No, I've been saying it for long. And I'll be praying that whoever, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how influenced you are in Nigeria, and you are punishing the masses, and you are delivering the wrong judgment, God will uproot you. And God will punish everyone who is damaging the country. That's it. Damaging, take care.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank
you for your call,
Chioma, when they rule against Ekwuremadu in the UK, 90% of the Igbo supported it. We do know what we support Igbo. We said yes. Did anybody go and plead for Ekwuremadu's release? Did we go? because the judgment, we know it is valid, it is authentic, it is right. We don't support evil. No, even when they wanted to go and bring him here, we said no, we don't want to let him serve his sentence. That is the Igbo man for you. We don't support evil. It's our person, but we say yes, go and pay for what you did. We did it in Igbo. We did it. We didn't support it. We don't say Nnamdi Kanu, please leave this young man, because what he did, even if you want to judge him, ask yourself, what did I do wrong to provoke this man? He reacted over what you did to him, to the Igbo people, and you said he is wrong in law. Which law? You even said that all these things are there in the United Nations Charter and African Charter. So what is wrong in saying I want to leave this place?
All right, Vice Darlington, the final question I have for you in all of this is, what next? What next? What is going to happen next? What should happen next?
Good.
His lawyers have said that they will appeal. Some Nigerians are saying he may be released before 2027, while some are saying that that's not the case. In fact, there have been allegations that he's been poisoned in DSS custody. They are not sure of what they are giving him to eat and to drink. But the question is, what is the way forward? Any hope for him at the appeal court?
Now, as it stands now, every Igbo man or Igbo woman or Igbo person, please remain where you are. Don't no violence. Just keep calm. This matter is not over yet. So don't play into the hands of your enemies. We are going to see what will pan out in the Southeast now. Someone neighbor is in detention in the Finland. Is that not true? Nnamdi Kanu is now sentenced. So let us know who will now be the arrowhead of insecurity in the Southeast. Let's know. Right. By that time, the whole world will now know what we are talking about. You know my greatest happiness? The United States and other Western world, they are now beaming their satellite in Nigeria. So the shame is on the government that is doing all this to us.
All right, then. Let's quickly take this call before we go. You're the last caller for this evening. What's your name and location, please? Hello, welcome to Evening Rush. Hello.
Hello?
Right, then.
Talk now.
Vice Darlington, it's time for us to go. Let's get your concluding thoughts.
Yes, my final thought is that, look, Chioma and every other person, when we started criticizing this government, no, people didn't take us serious, but I know that something is wrong somewhere. They may not tell you, but they know what is pursuing them. Because since this APC came into government, Nigeria have never had rest. Since 2015, I don't know what they did to come into government. I don't know who they had a covenant with. Nothing good has come to Nigeria since this APC came here. You can see from one infamy to the other, from one bad record to the other. Both within and outside Nigeria, we have been collecting bad record everywhere. To the extent we are now under CPC. That will tell you that this APC, they never meant well. But if Nigerians make another mistake in 2027, no problem, all of us will suffer it.
Wow, a lot has been said, a lot will still be said. Like Vice Darlington said, let's actually keep calm and see what happens right after now, because his lawyers are saying they'll still go to the appeal court. But there is no gainsaying the fact that there is terrorism in the land. People are dying needlessly in different areas of the country. We don't have to wait until it comes to our doorstep before we actually act. And one thing we'll continue to do right here on Voice of People 90.3 FM is to hold the government accountable so that they can fulfill the promises that they made to Nigerians. One particular promise I remember the president made is electricity. He said, if I don't give you electricity, don't vote for me in 2027. What is the state of electricity in the country right now? If we even say, okay, let's put the insecurity aside and every other thing, electricity, how can our industries work, our manufacturing companies, how can they work without electricity? It will seem we are deviating from the issue, but it is part of the broader, wider issue, because evil thrives under the cover of darkness. At least if there is light, we'll be seeing the marauders as they are approaching. We can run for our lives and our security agencies can mobilize against them. But I do thank you for joining me on the Evening Rush this evening. I have very sweet information for you from Emerald Global, and that will be coming up in a matter of a very few minutes. So stay tuned. You're still listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. welcome back. I did tell you I have wonderful information for you. I have two very beautiful, gorgeous women sitting right across from me right now, and they're from Emerald Global. No long talk, not too much questions. Just tell us the reason why you're here. What is Emerald Global about? What should the people be looking forward to?
Okay, Emerald Global is health organization.